I got into the trade because I dropped out of college. So, okay, guys, there's step one. Make sure you don't complete college. Get yourself a real job. I was majoring in history, and I wanted a job that was basically Indiana Jones because he was an archaeologist. I wanted to fight evildoers while doing archaeology in exciting places. The history department guys told me that probably would not be a feasible application for a history degree. The word dumbass came up in the meeting quite a bit. Probably not good. So I dropped out of college because I was irritating, and I did the skilled trades because it was the next thing that was available because my father owned an HVAC company, and that is the reason. I found that as an installer, especially on crawl space jobs, also attic jobs to a certain degree, but crawl space jobs, you could go into the crawl space, and while you were there, typically there was like a dark corner to the crawl space. You could actually go in there and lay down for up to 2 hours without being detected by anyone else. I became a service tech because I saw that all the service techs just in general looked happier. And after installing for a while, people would kind of become aware of my crawl space hiding thing. So they would start to look for me if I was missing for a certain period of time. And I couldn't get fired because it was my father's company. So once they kind of detected that I would try the hiding thing about every day and multiple times a day, even after being caught, I realized I should probably be a service tech because at least I could drive around and I could probably hide that way if I was alone. My favorite part of the day as a service tech was to drive my van from the previous service call before lunch to the closest Arby's because I really like their curly fries. And a lot of the guys would use their lunch hour to read up on the trade or watch some YouTube videos on the trade, but I felt like that got in the way of eating the curly fries. And when I had my phone, I wanted to watch WWE events instead, not porn. So that gave me time to do that. And a lot of times I would kind of doze off and the phone would wake me up about an hour later. In 5 years, I don't know, when we went to Atlanta for AHR, I saw a bunch of massage parlors, and Ralph said they were the kind of places that do happy endings, so I'd probably just as soon be there. When I found out there was going to be inverter systems and stuff like that, multi-stage stuff, communicating stuff that would be very prevalent, I decided it would be a great time to get out of the field. So I faked a leg injury and started to do a podcast. And luckily for me, I was able to trick a bunch of sponsors into sponsoring the podcast, or else I'd probably be out there trying to learn this crap right now. And judging from what I see on the internet, it's very difficult. I think my main advice for new technicians would be to first and foremost to purchase a zoom lock so you don't have to learn how to braze or solder. It's much easier to zoom lock, and all you gotta do is use that cone thing and clean it off, and you'll be good to go for 30 years plus. And by the time the fitting fails 30 years from now, I ought to be on a beach in Jamaica or something, because hopefully by then you'll have figured out how the hell to get a real job that pays more money. To all the installers out there, I would say you need to shut off your headlamp when trying to hide in a crawl space, or else people will be able to see you. It's best if they kind of think maybe you left for a minute, and that'll buy you some extra time. So definitely shut the headlamp off. Don't be turning on. And don't do that red flashing mode, because that shit's just obnoxious. To my fellow podcasters, why don't you guys just go do something else for a year or two, and then I can take over the podcasting thing. And through that lack of choice, we should be able to flourish.